The call came at 2 a.m, jerking me awake with that distinctive ringtone I'd set for family emergencies. Mum's voice cracked through the speaker, thick with tears. "Teresa, mi amor, I need your help. It's bad." I sat up in bed, my heart already racing. "Mum, what's wrong?" "The dentist found complications. They're saying I need emergency surgery tomorrow morning. Something about an abscess and bone loss." Her breathing hitched. "Insurance won't cover it. I need $6,500. My name is Teresa, and I've always been the responsible one. The one who got straight A's, who landed the marketing executive job right out of college, who never gave our parents a moment's trouble. Unlike my younger sister Kylie, who seemed to float through life on charm and good looks alone. Mom, slow down. What exactly did the dentist say?" She launched into a detailed explanation about infection risks and potential heart problems if left untreated. I rubbed my eyes, trying to focus. The amount was steep, but not impossible. I'd been saving for a down payment on a condo, but this was my mother's health. "Please, Teresa, I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious, and don't tell your sister or father. You know how they worry." I opened my laptop, already logging into my bank account. "I'll wire it right now. Send me the details." "Me Angel," she whispered. "I knew I could count on you." The next morning I met my friend Lauren for coffee, still troubled by the late-night call. The money was already gone from my account. "You just gave her $6,500, just like that." Lauren stirred her latte, eyebrows raised. "It was for emergency dental work," I defended, but even I heard the uncertainty in my voice. She was crying. "Your mom's always crying when she wants something," Lauren pointed out. "Remember the time she needed money for your dad's urgent back treatment that turned into a fishing boat?" I winced. "This is different. It's medical." My phone buzzed. A group text from Mom. "Surprise family BBQ this Saturday. Everyone must come. Big news to share." Lauren read the message over my shoulder and gave me a look. "Big news, huh?" "Stop it," I said, but my stomach clenched. She probably just wants to thank me privately. "When has your mother ever done anything privately?" Lauren took a sip of her coffee. $10 says this big news has nothing to do with dental work. I checked my phone again. Kylie had already responded with a string of excited emojis. Dad added a simple, "Our cousin Iris sent, can't wait." "You're being paranoid," I told Lauren, but I was already mentally calculating how many months this would set back my condo plans. Mom wouldn't lie about something like this. Like she didn't lie about needing money for Dad's physical therapy that turned into a cruise. Lauren's voice was gentle. Or the time she needed help with property taxes but bought Kylie a car. That was different, I protested weakly. We were younger then. My phone buzzed again. A private message from Mom. "Wear something nice on Saturday, lots of pictures." Lauren reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "Just prepare yourself, okay? I hate seeing you get hurt like this." "It's fine," I said, pulling my hand away. "Everything's fine." But as I drove to work, Mom's voice echoed in my head. "Don't tell your sister or father." The secrecy request that should have been my first red flag. The tears that always seemed to come right before a financial ask. The way she detailed the medical emergency but couldn't remember the dentist's name when I'd asked. My phone lit up with another group text. Kylie this time. "Can't wait to share my amazing news with everyone." I gripped the steering wheel tighter, remembering how she'd been complaining about her nose for months, how she'd mentioned a consultation with a plastic surgeon but said she couldn't afford it, how Mom had been unusually quiet during those conversations. No, I told myself, they wouldn't. Not again. But as I pulled into my office parking spot, another text came through. This one from Iris. "Girl, you coming Saturday? Trust me, you don't want to miss this one." I stared at my phone, feeling that familiar knot in my stomach. The one that always formed when I sensed I was being played. the one I'd learned to ignore in the name of family loyalty. "Everything's fine," I whispered to myself, but even I didn't believe it anymore. I opened my calendar and marked Saturday with a red flag. Whatever was coming, at least I wouldn't be blindsided. Not completely anyway, but deep down I already knew. This wasn't about dental work at all, and by Saturday I'd be $6,500 poorer, with nothing to show for it except another lesson in family manipulation. The question was, what would I do about it this time? Saturday arrived with the kind of perfect weather that usually promises something terrible is about to happen. I parked my car a block away from my parents' house, needing those extra minutes to steel myself. Music and laughter spilled from the backyard as I walked up the driveway. Iris spotted me first, rushing over with a hug that felt more like a warning. "Teresa, you made it!" Her smile was tight. "Have you seen Kylie yet?" "Just got here," I said, scanning the crowd. Mom was by the grill with Dad, gesturing animatedly. No sign of my sister. "Oh, honey," Iris squeezed my arm. "Just remember to breathe, okay?" Before I could ask what she meant, a familiar squeal cut through the chatter. "Everyone, look who's here!" I turned, and there was Kylie, making her grand entrance through the sliding glass doors. She wore oversized sunglasses and a white sundress, but nothing could hide the telltale bandaging across her nose. The $6,500 bandaging. "Oh my God!" someone whispered nearby. "It looks amazing already!" Kylie floated through the crowd like a queen, accepting compliments and air kisses. When she reached me, she pulled off her sunglasses with a flourish. "What do you think, sis? Isn't it perfect?" I stared at the careful bandaging, the slight bruising visible at the edges. "When did you have this done?" "Last week. Can you believe it? The most amazing thing happened." She grabbed my hands, bouncing slightly. "Someone incredibly generous helped make my dreams come true." The crowd had gathered around us now. I could feel Mum hovering nearby, watching. "Really?" I kept my voice steady. "How generous of them." "I know. It was basically free." Kylie turned to our cousin Regina. "The universe just provides sometimes, you know." "The universe," I repeated, "or someone's emergency dental fund." A slight hush fell over the nearest guests. Kylie's smile flickered for just a moment before returning full force. "Oh, don't be silly. Mom, didn't you need to show Teresa something in the kitchen?" Mum appeared at my elbow, trying to guide me away. "Yes, come help me with the potato salad, mi amor." I stood my ground. "How are your teeth feeling, Mom?" She blinked rapidly. "My what?" "Your teeth, the emergency surgery, the abscess and bone loss that was going to affect your heart." My voice carried across the suddenly quiet patio. The procedure that cost exactly $6,500. Someone's glass clinked awkwardly against a plate. Dad became very interested in the grill's temperature gauge. "Teresa," Mom hissed, "not here." "Why not here?" I smiled wider. "Kylie's sharing her good news. I'm sharing mine. I helped fund a medical procedure last week. Funny how these things work out." Aunt Maria cleared her throat. "Well, it's not like you needed that money, Teresa. You're doing so well, and Kylie's still finding her way." "Finding her way?" I laughed, the sound sharp enough to make several people wince. "Is that what we're calling it now?" "You're just jealous," Kylie snapped. "Some of us actually care about our appearance. Maybe if you did, you'd have someone to spend all that money on besides yourself." The words hung in the air like smoke. I heard whispers. "Well, she is always working." No kids at her age. So selfish with her money. I set my untouched drink on the nearest table. "Thank you for clarifying how my family sees me." "Teresa, please." Mum reached for my arm. "We're family. Family helps each other." "Family doesn't lie." I pulled away. "Family doesn't steal." "It wasn't stealing," Kylie protested. "Mom said you'd want to help if you knew how much it meant to me." "Then why didn't you ask me directly?" The silence that followed was deafening. I looked at each of them. Mom's tears starting right on cue. Dad's studied fascination with the grill. Kylie's perfect new profile turned just so in the sunlight. Years of similar moments flashed through my mind. Holidays where my gifts to others were expected, but mine were forgotten. Celebrations of Kylie's smallest achievements, while my promotions went unmentioned. The constant hints about my biological clock, while praising my sister's free spirit. "I have to go," I said quietly. "Don't be dramatic," Kylie called after me. "This is why you're always alone, you know. You make everything about yourself." I paused at the gate, not turning around. Behind me, I could hear Mom starting to cry, right on schedule. The familiar guilt rose up, but this time something else rose with it. Something cold and calculating. "Enjoy your new nose, Kylie," I said, my voice carrying clearly across the yard. "I hope it was worth it." As I walked to my car, I heard Iris say, "Well, that could have gone better." Better wasn't what I was aiming for anymore. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app, where I still had everyone's card information saved from our upcoming family trip to Hawaii. "You want to play games?" I whispered, starting my car. "Let's play." "You're scaring me a little," Lauren said, watching me type furiously on my laptop. We were sitting in my living room, empty wine glasses between us. "That's your revenge planning face." "Remember when we all went to Cancun last year?" I didn't look up from the screen. Everyone gave me their card info to book excursions because I'm so good with details. Teresa. "And remember how Mum insisted I keep all the login information just in case for future family trips?" Lauren leaned forward. "What are you doing?" I turned the laptop to show her. On the screen were 5 luxury Hawaiian experiences, each more expensive than the last. Just booking some activities for our upcoming family vacation. Deep sea snorkeling with rare fish species, private sunset yacht dinner, helicopter tour over active volcanoes, 5-star spa day, personal chef experience. "Those prices," Lauren's eyes widened. "Are those per person?" "Yep." I clicked confirm on another booking. "And I'm using everyone's saved cards to pay for their own portions. How thoughtful of me, right? This is insane." Lauren grabbed my wine glass before I could reach for it. "You're talking about thousands of dollars. $6,500 per person, to be exact." I smiled. Funny how numbers work out. My phone buzzed. A text from Kylie. "OMG, just got the confirmation emails. These activities look amazing. You're the best sister ever. See? She's happy." I showed Lauren the text. "For now. Until you do whatever you're planning to do next." Lauren studied my face. "What are you planning to do next?" I closed my laptop. The Hawaii trip is in 3 weeks. 2 days before we leave, I'm going to report every single charge as fraudulent. "Jesus, Teresa!" Their cards will be frozen, the bookings will be cancelled. The airline will likely cancel Kylie's budget ticket due to suspicious activity. I reached past Lauren and grabbed my wine. Meanwhile, I'll be sitting in first class, sipping champagne. "This isn't you," Lauren said quietly. "You're angry, I get it, but this is exactly what they deserve." I pulled up Instagram, where Kylie had already posted about our amazing family adventure coming up. They want to play with my money. Let's see how they like playing with their own. Lauren was silent for a long moment. "What about your dad? What about him?" I tried to keep my voice steady. "He stood there at the BBQ and said nothing. He never says anything. And your mum, this could seriously mess up their credit. Should have thought about that before lying to get money for Kylie's nose job." I started typing a response to Kylie's text. "Can't wait. It's going to be unforgettable." Lauren grabbed my arm. "Listen to yourself. This isn't about justice anymore. This is about hurting them back." "Maybe they need to hurt." I pulled away. "Maybe they need to understand what it feels like to be used." My phone lit up with a call from Mom. I let it go to voicemail. "One of us is going to come home changed," I said, staring at the missed call notification. Either they'll finally learn their lesson or I'll stop being their ATM. Win-win. Or you'll destroy your family forever. They destroyed it when they decided my feelings mattered less than Kylie's nose. I opened my email, where confirmation notices were still rolling in. Besides, it's not like I'm doing anything illegal. They gave me permission to use their cards. I'm just booking some lovely family activities. Lauren stood up, gathering her purse. Just promise me you'll think about this for a day before you do anything permanent. I've thought about it for years. I walked her to the door. Every time they've manipulated me, every time they've taken advantage, every time they've dismissed my feelings, I'm done thinking. Now I'm acting. After Lauren left, I sat back down at my laptop. More texts were coming in. Mum. Mi amor, these activities look wonderful. You're so generous to organise everything. Dad. Thanks for handling the details, sweetheart. Kylie. I'm going to look so good in the helicopter pics. New Nose's first vacation. I screenshotted each message, saving them for later. Evidence of their enthusiasm, proof of their approval. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Iris. Just saw the bookings. Are you sure about this? I stared at her message for a long moment. Iris had always been more perceptive than the others. She'd seen through Mom's manipulation at the BBQ, had tried to warn me. Trust me, I texted back. Everything's going exactly as planned. I opened my own banking app and booked my first-class ticket to Hawaii. Then I started researching beachfront hotels, the kind that wouldn't be caught dead taking a fraudulent credit card. Lauren was right about one thing. This wasn't like me. But maybe that was exactly what my family needed to see. The daughter they'd taken for granted finally showing her teeth. I clicked confirm on the hotel booking and smiled. 3 weeks until paradise, for me anyway. The chaos started exactly 48 hours before our flight to Hawaii. I was sitting in my home office, phone on silent, watching the emails roll in. First came the fraud alerts. Suspicious activity detected on your account. Your card has been temporarily suspended. Please verify these transactions. Then the cancellation notices. Your reservation has been cancelled. Booking terminated due to payment issues. Your flight has been cancelled due to insufficient funds. My phone started vibrating non-stop. I let it dance across my desk as I sipped my coffee, watching the group chat explode. Kylie. What is happening? All my bookings are cancelled. Mom. My card isn't working. Teresa, are you seeing this? Dad. Getting fraud alerts. Anyone else? Kylie. My flight is cancelled. I can't rebuy it. My card is frozen. Mom. Teresa, answer your phone. I turned my phone over and opened my laptop instead. Time to check in for my first-class flight. The doorbell rang. I already knew who it was. You're really doing this, Lauren said when I opened the door. She held up her phone, showing me Kylie's latest Instagram story, a tearful rant about credit card fraud ruining her dream vacation. Already done, I replied, letting her in. Want to see something funny? I pulled up my own Instagram and posted a photo of my first-class boarding pass with the caption, "Sometimes peace of mind costs $6,500, worth every penny." You're evil, Lauren whispered, but I caught her trying not to smile. My phone started ringing again, Mom's fourth attempt in 10 minutes. This time she left a voicemail. Teresa, please, the bank is saying all these charges look suspicious because they're in Hawaii. They've frozen everything. Kylie's flight is cancelled and we can't rebook because none of our cards work. Call me back immediately. I deleted the message and posted another Instagram story, packing my designer suitcase with new beach outfits, all still showing their price tags. Treating myself to a proper vacation wardrobe. Kylie responded instantly. Are you serious right now? The doorbell rang again. This time it was Iris, looking both impressed and concerned. Your mom is having a meltdown, she said, walking in. Kylie's worse. They can't figure out why all their cards are suddenly suspicious. Weird how that happens, I said, checking my own credit card app. Mine's working fine, though. You're a savage, Iris laughed, then turned serious. But you know this isn't over, right? My phone lit up with a blocked number. Dad. Should I answer it? I asked them. Lauren shook her head, but Iris nodded. He might be the only one worth hearing out. I picked up. Hello? Teresa. Dad's voice was quiet. I didn't know she lied to you about the dental work. The words hit harder than I expected. Would it have mattered if you did? A long pause. No, probably not. I never stop her, do I? No, you don't. Are you still coming tomorrow? I looked at my first-class boarding pass sitting on the desk. Yes, but not with you. He sighed. They're going to figure it out eventually. I'm counting on it. After we hung up, Lauren and Iris stared at me. What happens now? Lauren asked. I showed them my phone. More messages were pouring in. Kylie. The airline won't help. This isn't fair. Mom. Please call me. We need to fix this. Aunt Maria. Your mother is crying. How could you do this to family? Now, I said, I finish packing. Tomorrow I board my flight, and in about 4 hours they'll all get calls from their banks about potential identity theft. Identity theft? Iris's eyes widened. But they gave you permission to use their cards. For the Cancun trip, last year. I smiled. Not for Hawaii. Not for charges that equal exactly $6,500 per person. The banks will definitely find that suspicious. My phone buzzed with another blocked number. This time I let it go to voicemail. You've thought of everything, Lauren said softly. Almost. I pulled up Instagram one more time and posted a final story. Me holding up a Mai Tai recipe book with the caption, Getting ready for some solo beach time. Ja self-care, da boundaries, na peace and quiet. Within seconds, Kylie commented, You did this on purpose. I turned my phone off completely and looked at my friends. Anyone want to drive me to the airport tomorrow? I have a feeling the family car service might be unavailable. Iris raised her hand. I'll do it. This is the best entertainment I've had in years. Lauren shook her head but grabbed her keys. I'll come too. Someone needs to document this for posterity. As they left, I took one last look at my phone before turning it off for the night. A final text had come through from Mom. How could you do this to your own family? I typed back, How could you do it first? Then I turned off my phone, poured myself a glass of wine, and started practicing my best surprised face for when the family drama would inevitably unfold in Hawaii, if they made it there at all. The Hawaiian sun felt different than the guilt-laden heat back home. I stretched out on my private beach chair, sipping a fresh coconut water while checking my messages for the first time since landing. 147 missed calls, 392 text messages, 6 voicemails, 23 Instagram DMs. I opened the most recent voicemail from Mom. Teresa, this is serious. The bank is investigating all of us for fraud. They're saying someone used our cards without authorization. You have to tell them you had permission. Kylie is crying she can't get another flight, and delete. My phone pinged with a text from Iris. Your sister just posted a 20-minute Instagram rant about you. Want me to screen record it? Send it, I replied, adjusting my sunglasses. The video loaded. Kylie, mascara-streaked and furious, gesturing wildly at her phone camera. And now, my selfish sister is posting beach pictures while my vacation is ruined. She's literally terrorizing our whole family because she's jealous of my nose job. I mean, who does that? Mom's getting calls from collection agencies. Dad's credit score is tanking, and Teresa's just living her best life like some sociopath. I switched to my own Instagram and posted a photo of my ocean view. Sometimes the best family therapy is solo therapy. Boundaries, self-care, no toxicity. Within minutes, the comments started. Kylie, you're evil. Mum, please call us. The bank needs to talk to you. Aunt Maria, this is not how family treats family. I deleted them all and posted another photo. Me swimming with dolphins, beaming at the camera. Caption, making new friends who don't lie about dental work. My phone rang. Lauren this time. I answered. Your mum just called me, she said. They're getting letters from collection agencies about the cancelled bookings. Apparently, the hotels are claiming damages. How unfortunate, I replied, ordering another coconut water from the beach attendant. Kylie had to move back home because her cards are still frozen. Your dad's trying to get a loan to cover everything. I watched the waves roll in. Remember when I needed help with my first apartment deposit? Mum said they couldn't spare a dime, but that same month they bought Kylie a car. Teresa, or when I got promoted to executive and they skipped my celebration dinner because Kylie had a minor role in a local commercial. I know, but or how about last Christmas when everyone praised Kylie's homemade cookies but ignored the fact that I paid off Mom and Dad's entire credit card debt? Lauren sighed. Okay, I get it, but this revenge, it's changing you. Maybe I needed to change. I posted another photo, sunset yoga on the beach. Caption, finding my peace at any cost. My phone buzzed with a text from Iris. Your mum's telling everyone you're having a mental breakdown. Kylie's saying you're just jealous because she's naturally prettier even before the nose job. I laughed out loud, startling a nearby beachgoer. Tell them I'm having the most mentally stable week of my life. They're talking about flying out there to intervene. With what money? I replied, then added a crying, laughing emoji. Another voicemail from Mum. The bank says we could face criminal charges. Is that what you want, to see your family in jail after everything we've done for you? Delete. I opened my banking app and checked my accounts. Still healthy, still fraud-free, still mine. Then I checked the family group chat I'd muted. Dad, we need to talk about this as a family. Kylie, there's nothing to talk about. She's crazy. Mum, I just don't understand why she's being so cruel. Aunt Maria, this is what happens when women focus too much on career and not enough on family. I screenshot the exchange and sent it to Lauren and Iris. Still think I'm being too harsh? Iris replied first. Girl, burn it all down. I've got popcorn ready. Lauren, just be careful. Karma has a way of coming back around. I looked at my reflection in the hotel room mirror. The woman staring back wasn't the dutiful daughter anymore. She wasn't the reliable sister or the family ATM. She was just free. My phone lit up with another blocked number. This time, when I answered, there was just breathing on the other end. Hello, I said. You've made your point. Dad's voice was tired. Whatever we did to hurt you, that's just it, I interrupted. You still don't know what you did. And until you figure it out, I'll be here, enjoying my very expensive peace and quiet. I hung up and posted one final photo for the day, me holding up a drink at the Sunset Beach Bar. Caption, some people call it revenge. I call it boundaries. Either way, the view is perfect. The likes started rolling in, mostly from strangers who had no idea of the story behind the smile. But that didn't matter. For the first time in my life, I wasn't living for their approval. And it felt better than any family vacation ever could. I was halfway through my breakfast papaya when I heard a familiar voice behind me. Teresa, my spoon clattered against the bowl as I turned around. There, in pressed business casual, despite the Hawaiian heat, stood Xander, my ex from 3 years ago. What are you? I gestured vaguely at the resort's open-air restaurant. Conference, he pointed to his name badge. Marketing summit. You're still in marketing, right? I nodded, suddenly very aware of my beach cover-up and messy bun. VP of Digital now, actually. Congratulations, he shifted awkwardly. Mind if I gestured to the empty chair across from me. As he sat down, my phone buzzed with another family message. I flipped it face down. Trouble at home? He asked, ordering a coffee from the passing server. You could say that. I studied his face, still handsome, but older somehow. How much do you follow family social media? Enough to see Kylie's meltdown yesterday. He smiled slightly. That was you, wasn't it? What gave it away? The precision, the timing, the way it all fell apart so perfectly. He stirred his coffee. You always were methodical when you were angry. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Mum. The bank wants to press charges. Please call us. Want to grab a drink later? Xander asked. Seems like you might need someone to talk to. 6 hours later, we sat at the hotel's beachfront bar, watching the sunset paint the sky orange. 2 Mai Tais in, the story spilled out. The dental lie, the nose job, the credit card revenge. Remember when we broke up? I asked, swirling my drink. Did they ever tell you why? Xander looked down at his glass. Your mum did, actually. Said you weren't ready to commit, that you were too focused on your career. I laughed bitterly. Funny, she told me you said I was too controlling, that you needed space. What? He set his drink down. I never said that. I know, I figured it out about a year later. I showed him my phone, another missed call from Mom. They didn't want me settling down. Who would pay for Kylie's emergencies if I had my own family to worry about? Jesus, Teresa. You know what the worst part is? I watched a young family walk past, children building sandcastles in the fading light. I believed them. Every time they needed money, every time they chose Kylie, every time they sabotaged my relationships, I convinced myself it was normal. That's what family does, right? Xander reached across the table, hesitating before touching my hand. I should have asked you directly, not listened to your mom. We both should have done a lot of things differently. I pulled my hand back gently. But maybe it worked out for the best. I needed to learn this lesson eventually. My phone lit up with a text from Iris. You need to check your email. Now. I opened my inbox and felt my stomach drop. The subject line read, Legal notice, unauthorized credit card use. They're really doing it, I whispered, showing Xander the email. They're trying to press charges. Can they? You had permission to book those trips. For last year's vacation, yes, not for this one. I ordered another drink. That's why I picked exactly $6,500 per person. Let them explain to the bank why that specific amount keeps showing up. You really thought this through. I had years of practice watching them manipulate situations. I checked my phone again. 3 more missed calls from Dad. I just finally learned how to play their game better than they do. Xander studied my face. You know this won't end well, right? Nothing with them ever does. I posted a new Instagram story, the sunset, my drink and Xander's hand, visible in the corner of the frame. Caption: Sometimes the past shows up to remind you why you chose a different future. Within minutes, Kylie commented, Of course you're with him, trying to make everyone feel sorry for you. I deleted her comment and turned back to Xander. Thank you for listening. It's nice having someone understand. I always understood you, Teresa. That was never the problem. He stood up, leaving money for his drinks. Just be careful. Revenge might feel good now, but... My phone rang, cutting him off. Dad's number, not blocked this time. I should take this, I said, standing too. Xander nodded. Good luck. Try not to burn every bridge, okay? As he walked away, I answered the call. Hello? Teresa? Dad's voice was strange, choked. Your mother. She collapsed. We're at the emergency room. The world tilted slightly. What? The stress, the bank calls, everything. Please, come home. I gripped the bar for support, watching Xander's retreating figure. The sunset suddenly seemed too bright, too orange, too much like warning signs I'd been ignoring. Teresa? Dad's voice cracked. Are you there? I looked at my phone. At the perfect Instagram life I'd been crafting. At the revenge that suddenly felt hollow. I'll get the next flight out, I heard myself say. But as I hung up, a small voice whispered, What if this is just another manipulation? What if it always was? The hospital corridor smelled of disinfectant and old coffee. I found Dad slumped in a plastic chair outside Mom's room, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. "She's sleeping," he said before I could ask. "Just exhaustion and dehydration, they say. No heart attack." I sat down beside him, still in my wrinkled travel clothes. What happened? The bank called about fraud charges, then the credit card company, then a collection agency. He rubbed his face. She got dizzy, fell in the kitchen. A nurse walked past, checking charts. Through the door's window I could see Mom lying there, looking frail in the hospital gown. Kylie was curled up in a chair beside her, scrolling through her phone. "Teresa," Dad's voice was quiet, "we need to talk. About the charges or about how you all lied to me?" He flinched. "Both, I suppose. Where should we start? The fake dental emergency, or how about all the times you watched Mom manipulate me and said nothing? I thought..." He trailed off, staring at his hands. "I thought you were strong enough to handle it. You always seemed so capable, so independent. Strong isn't the same as numb, Dad." The door opened and Kylie stormed out. "Oh, great, you finally showed up. Done with your revenge vacation?" "Kylie," Dad warned. "No, let her talk." I stood up. "Tell me how this is my fault. Tell me how I'm being selfish. Tell me how your nose job was worth destroying our family's trust." "Trust?" Kylie laughed. "You're the one who committed credit card fraud." "After you committed actual fraud." I stepped closer. "You and Mom lied to get money from me. You manipulated me, gaslit me, and then had the audacity to brag about it. Girls, please." Dad tried to stand between us. "Your mother needs rest." "Your mother needs rest," I mimicked. That's always the excuse, isn't it? We can't talk about anything real because Mom's too fragile. We can't address the lies because Mom might get upset. Well, guess what? I'm upset. I've been upset for years. The door opened again. Mom stood there in her hospital gown, holding the IV pole. "Mi amor, please..." "Don't." I held up my hand. "Don't mi amor me. Not after what you did." "I did it for family," she whispered. "Everything I do is for family." "No, everything you do is for Kylie." I turned to Dad. "And everything you don't do is because you're too scared to stand up to either of them." A doctor approached, frowning at Mom being out of bed. "Mrs. Kennedy, you need to rest." "See what you're doing to her?" Kylie hissed. "If anything happens to Mom, it's your fault." "My fault?" I laughed, the sound echoing down the sterile hallway. "Let me tell you what's my fault. I fault myself for every time I believed your lies. I fault myself for every dollar I gave you. I fault myself for thinking that maybe, just maybe, you actually cared about me as much as I cared about you." "Teresa," Dad reached for my arm. "We do care." I pulled away. "No, you care about what I can provide. My money, my stability, my reliability when Kylie needs bailing out." "That's not true!" Mom started crying, right on cue. The doctor moved to support her. "Even now you're using tears to manipulate me." I grabbed my purse. "Well, I'm done. Done being the family ATM. Done being the responsible one. Done watching Kylie get everything while I get nothing but bills and guilt." "If you walk away now," Kylie called after me, "don't bother coming back." I stopped at the end of the corridor and turned around one last time. They stood there like a tableau of dysfunction. Mom crying, Dad looking lost, Kylie filming everything on her phone, probably for another Instagram rant. "You know what the saddest part is?" I said quietly. "I would have given Kylie the money for her nose job if she'd just asked me honestly. But you all chose lies. You always choose lies. Teresa, please." Mom reached out. "We're family." "No." I squared my shoulders. Family doesn't manipulate each other. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't steal. You taught me that by doing exactly what family shouldn't do. I walked away to the sound of Kylie's voice. "Fine, leave. That's what you're good at anyway." In the parking lot, I sat in my car and checked my phone. A text from Iris. "Just saw Kylie's latest story. You okay?" "Never better," I replied. Another text popped up, this one from Lauren. Your mum's already posting about her medical emergency and how her ungrateful daughter abandoned her. I started the car and took one last look at the hospital. Through a window, I could see them all gathered around Mom's bed, probably already planning their next manipulation. Let them post whatever they want, I texted back. I'm done playing their game. As I drove away, my phone buzzed with messages I wouldn't read and calls I wouldn't answer. They'd have to find someone else to fund their schemes, validate their lies, enable their dysfunction. I was finally, truly done, or so I thought. The email arrived while I was having coffee with Lauren and Iris at our usual spot. Subject line, Class Action Investigation, Identity Theft and Financial Fraud. Holy shit, Iris whispered, reading over my shoulder. They really reported you? No, I smiled, scanning the email. They reported themselves. Lauren grabbed my phone. The bank's fraud department flagged multiple suspicious transactions, pattern of financial exploitation, investigating previous claims of unauthorized use. What did you do? Nothing. I sipped my coffee. I just made sure every charge was exactly $6,500, the same amount they stole from me. The bank noticed the pattern. My phone rang. Dad again. This time I answered on speaker. The bank is freezing all our accounts, he said without preamble. They're looking into every transaction for the past 5 years. That must be stressful. Teresa, please, they're asking about all those times your mother borrowed money, all those emergency expenses for Kylie. You mean all those times you lied to get money from me? Silence. Dad? We never meant, he sighed. I never meant for it to go this far. Neither did I. I looked at Lauren and Iris, who were listening intently. But here we are. Your mother's beside herself. Kylie had to move back home permanently because her credit is ruined. Actions have consequences. We're your family. No, I said firmly. You're people who share my DNA, who spent years exploiting me. There's a difference. He was quiet for so long I thought he'd hung up. Then, I knew about the dental lie. Lauren gasped. I knew, he continued, and I said nothing, because it was easier, because your mother always got her way, because Kylie always needed something, because you seemed so strong. Dad, but I was wrong. His voice cracked. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. The cafe seemed suddenly too quiet, too small. An apology doesn't fix this, I said. I know, but maybe this will. I'm telling the bank everything. Every lie, every manipulation, every time we used you. It's time someone protected you, even if it's too late. My coffee went cold as I processed his words. Why now? Because I finally realized what we lost was worth more than what we gained. He paused. I'll probably lose your mother over this. Kylie hasn't spoken to me since I started cooperating with the investigation, but you deserved better. Iris squeezed my hand. I have to go, I said. The bank's investigator is calling. After hanging up, I showed Lauren and Iris my latest Instagram notification. Kylie had posted a new story. Betrayed by my own father. He's helping the bank investigate us. At least Mom still loves me, unlike some people in this family. Your sister needs therapy, Iris muttered. The whole family does. I deleted the notification. But that's not my problem anymore. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom. How could you turn your father against us after everything we've done for you? I blocked her number. Another text from an unknown number. Kylie using a friend's phone. Hope you're happy. You destroyed everything. Blocked. What now? Lauren asked. I pulled up my banking app and looked at my account. Healthy, stable, mine. No more emergency withdrawals. No more guilt-fueled transfers. No more lies draining my savings. Now, I showed them my screen, I just put a down payment on that condo I've always wanted. The one your mum said was selfish to buy. Iris grinned. The very one. My phone lit up one last time. An email from the bank investigator. Ms. Gomez, based on your father's testimony and our investigation, we've uncovered a pattern of financial exploitation. We'll need your statement regarding multiple suspicious transactions over the past 5 years. Additionally, we're exploring potential criminal charges. Are you going to testify? Lauren asked. I looked at my friends, really looked at them. These women who'd supported me, who'd never lied to me, who'd shown me what real family could be. Yes, I said. It's time for the truth. Your mom will never forgive you, Iris warned. I know, I smiled. But I'm finally forgiving myself. I opened Instagram one last time and posted a photo of my new condo keys with the caption, "Home is where your boundaries are respected. Here's to new beginnings." No more lies. Free at last. Within minutes, supportive comments flooded in, from colleagues, from friends, from strangers who'd followed my story. But the one that mattered most was from Dad. "Proud of you, Mija. I should have been proud all along." I showed Lauren and Iris the comment. "Maybe," Lauren said carefully, "some family is worth keeping." "Maybe," I agreed, "but only the ones who earn it." I picked up my coffee cup, now empty but somehow lighter than ever. "To boundaries," Iris raised her cup. "To truth," added Lauren. "To freedom," I said, joining their toast. "And to finally knowing my worth." Outside the sun was shining. I had a new home waiting, a clear conscience, and for the first time in my life, no lies weighing me down. Sometimes it turns out the happy ending isn't about keeping your family. It's about choosing yourself,